Hey guys, hope you and the families are doing well. My prior YouTube video taught you about the new indicator that I coded on TradingView to help identify better breakouts, looking for those textbook opening range breakout 5-minute candlesticks in US stocks. I've had a lot of questions about that, so what this video is a really thorough tutorial video to teach you how I use it in the practical application, taking you through some recent breakouts. Market Surge are today's video sponsor. They're my go-to resource for analyzing company fundamentals. If you're interested in a discounted trial, you'll find a link to that in the description and the comment section below. Hey guys, hope you and the families are doing well. Today's date is the 10th of October 2025. What we're going to do in this session is focus on 5-minute opening range breakouts as a new indicator that I coded on TradingView, and I'm going to take you through one of my recent trades in Redcat, and then I'm going to share some data with you on 5-minute ORBs as well. So I'm going to take you through this trade that I had in Redcat. That was from the 9th of October. Entry price is $14.53. We'll then go through some of this data as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take you through this trade because I want to show you how I think about ORBs, and you can see the indicator here, but really focused on group theme confirmation. It's really, really, really important being able to identify group theme confirmation, but then you need to take it a step further, I think, as well, because it's not just about trading any old stock that you see, oh, look at this, it's shiny and there's this green. That means no, it doesn't. It is not a magic pill. You've got to be trading the right stocks and how they like to be traded. So what I really want to get across by the end of the session is, one, visually, what do textbook opening range breakouts look like? And two, focus on the right stocks. And then I'm going to teach you about focusing on the right stocks, because quite commonly I'll say, oh, there's 5-minute ORB, and that's because the stock does not 5-minute ORB. It doesn't ORB that stock. And it's really simple just to go back and look at the stock's character over the past 2 weeks, 2 months, and just go, if I'm going to trade an ORB in this stock, can I see a single instant of when a ORB worked? And then if you can say, oh, there is an instant, or there's 2, or there's 3, or there's 4, or there's 5 examples that I can find of, okay, it's an ORB and it powered out. Well, how did it then move? How did it move intraday? If you just want to kind of manage it intraday, well, how could you go about managing it intraday? What selling rules, selling tactics could you be implementing on that stock to optimize profits? If you potentially want to hold it for a swing trade, well, where was the stock in location to key daily moving averages when that ORB happened? Was it short-term extended from the 10-day EMA, or was it just popping back through and say reclaiming the 10-day EMA or the 21-day EMA? So where was it in the context of the chart? So it's context is going to be really, really important. So I'm going to probably shout and rant for the first 15, 20 minutes of this session or so. So I'm going to take you through RCAT and Dragonfly, so DPRO. They are both drone stocks from yesterday, which is going to be the 9th of October. And then going to take you through 2 EV battery related stocks. Okay, so electric vehicle battery related stocks from today, being Friday the 10th of October. Okay, that's going to be QS and SLDP. Now this is going to be the same point in terms of looking for group theme confirmation in stocks that like to ORB. So QS and SLDP, same as Redcat and Dragonfly from yesterday. I'm then going to take you through Tesla. Okay, I took Tesla today and the trade didn't work out. So I'll take you through Tesla, I'll take you through the thinking of Tesla. I really want to get across, this is not a magic pill. You are going to have losing trades. Okay, you're going to have them. I'll then take you through UEC and CCJ from today, both of those uranium stocks. So again, the group theme confirmation in stocks that like to ORB. UEC in particular, there's been some nice kind of ORBs, some Minerals in that one as well. I'll then take you through one of my favorite trading stocks, which is Oklo. So I'll take you through the ORB from today. I'll then take you through what was one of the most just ridiculously good setups in terms of the 11th of June 2025 and the ORB there. So I'm really going to kind of shout and rant because that's kind of, I don't know, rough week personally. So apologies if it comes across a little bit shouty and ranty, but by the end, what do textbook ORBs look like? Visually, what do you want to see them look like? What does it then look like relative to the indexes? Are they then showing intraday relative strength? And then is there kind of prior examples of that stock likes to ORB in recent weeks and recent months? So it's really right stocks in terms of do they like to ORB, and then right identification in terms of the pattern recognition. So let me take you through RCAT, okay? Just show you, I'm not talking out my ass. I'll take you through this data in a minute. RCAT, this is yesterday, 9th of October, okay, 14.53 is the entry price, 7 seconds into the ORB. Okay, so 9:30 to 9:35 is obviously that opening candlestick. So boom, 7 seconds in, there's the entry, okay? So let me then zoom in to yesterday, and we can also talk about it from a trade management perspective as well. So we're going to zoom these charts in to around about 12 o'clock, something like that, and we can do it for Dragon Pro, okay? So let's just start off with the triple Qs. How did the first 5-minute candlestick look yesterday for the triple Qs? So remember, we're not looking at this final bar where Trump's just posted on Truth Social Media, and now we're seeing a big flush. And I think we may see quite a nice Morello. The SPY is right around the 21-day EMA, the triple Q is around 10-day. So we may see some Morellos a little bit later, okay? So here we go, first 5-minute candlestick. Remember, this is yesterday, so we're looking at this bar here, and then we're looking at this bar here, and this bar here for Triangle. First 5-minute candlestick yesterday for the triple Qs, not good. Okay, see this opens on effectively the high, weak close. That there is a bearish bar for the triple Qs, and it's also in the context of trying to overcome the prior session's high or very close to it and make an all-time high. Okay, so not nice action to see for the indexes. Okay, the kind of algo chide, the algo trend is down. It's below the 5-minute 60 EMA, below the 5-minute 21 EMA, and the MACD is bearish. So if you're going to take 5-minute ORBs into that, I think it's got to be a really good stock for ORBing. So it's got to have that prior kind of character, prior history of wanting to ORB and successfully ORB, and preferably it has group theme confirmation as well. Okay, so first 5-minute candlestick for the triple Qs on the 9th of October looks like that. Not good. So if you're going to take a trade, I think it's got to be a really, really good setup in a stock that likes to ORB with group theme confirmation, meaning other stocks from the group and theme are also displaying very similar action. So take a look here. RCAT yesterday, okay, and also the R volume, so the true R volume was only 0.3 versus the prior 20 sessions at that time period, 9:30 to 9:35 Eastern time. So this goes to show you do not need mega volume on a 5-minute RB. Oftentimes the volume comes in after. So if you're just kind of looking for the R vol's got to be 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5, it's got to have apps, it doesn't. And oftentimes the best examples don't have huge R vol, and it also means you can get a tighter stop. What is really important, I think, is focusing on, one, the characteristics of the candlestick, ideally open near the low, close near the high, showing intraday relative strength, has group theme confirmation, and the stock likes to ORB. Just fast forwarding a little bit. Okay, this is Oklo back on the 11th of June. I'm trying to talk about trades that I had. So I had Oklo here on this ORB. The R vol was only 0.54. And the stock powered up before it closed below the 5-minute 6 EMA. Well, it top ticked out there at 23%. Relative to, let's say, an ADR of 10%. So stock goes up over 2 times 20-day ADR, and the 5-minute ORB only had an R vol of 0.45 times versus the 20-day look back. You do not need mega volume. Actually, mega volume oftentimes isn't helpful because your stop loss is going to be wide, usually relative to the 20-day ADR percentage. So you don't need the mega volume come through. It's not to say don't trade the ones with huge volume, but just be aware of actually how the stocks move. What is the R vol that you see there? Okay, so Red Cat yesterday goes up 15% from this 5-minute RB. I'm not saying you're going to top ticket, but that's 1.5 times the 20-day ADR, and it only has a true R vol of 0.3 times. You don't need the mega volume, okay? But what did it do? Well, it opened near the low of the bar, okay, little shakeout to Martel there, closed effectively on the high of the bar in the face of the triple Qs doing that. Okay, triple Qs does that, Red Cat does that. Okay, showing a lot of intraday relative strength. Checkpoint 1, showing a lot of intraday relative strength. Visually, that's the type of candlestick that I like to target with 5-minute RBs. Red Cat, along with ODNS, UMAC being one of them, Dragonfly being one of them, so D-Pro is a ticker on there. They can ORB. They like to ORB. What is RVOL? RVOL is relative volume. We should know that, really. So see how this is what you like to see. This type of candlestick here. So nice candlestick in a stock that likes to ORB. And then the question is there any group theme confirmation? We'll take a look at Dragon Pro. What does Dragon Pro do? Very similar candlestick, okay? A little bit wider in terms of the candlestick. The ADR is a little bit higher as well. See this here? Opens in the low of the bar. There's that nice shakeout to Martel, strong close. So the strength of Dragon Pro is confirming the strength of Red Cat. This is called group theme confirmation. And you'll see this very commonly. So it's about trying to identify where are the algos going? Like, where are the algos going? Where's the intraday relative strength? So how I kind of weight things, assuming that you're already looking at the right stocks that like to ORBs, if you're looking for ORBs, visually, what does the candlestick look like? 2, what is the degree of intraday relative strength? And then 3, is there group theme confirmation? Tick, tick, tick for Red Cat. And you've got to be doing it pretty quick in your head, but that's why setting up your trading monitors, hopefully you're already looking at the right stocks and you know how the stocks like to move. Okay, do they like to move in terms of Morellos? Do they like ORBs? Do they tend to have an opening drive, flush and new session lows, and then Morellos? Like say an Embis likes to do that recently. So you start to learn, okay, how do the stocks move? Where do I want to be trying to target them? In terms of RCAT here, okay, it then runs like this over its 20-day ADR percentage. So from the entry here, so then we can talk about the management a little bit, okay? So from the entry here, okay, powers up like this. Let's just turn that magnet off. Powers up like this, okay? Run. And that top ticks out here. from the entry of the 5-minute RB, if you got it absolutely perfectly with no slippage, which is rarely going to happen, okay? But it goes up 15%. So that's already circa 1.5 times, if we just call it 10%. That's already 1.5 times the 20-day ADR percentage in a straight line. That's in 35 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so, okay? That's a huge move for the stock. If we go off the low of the day, the stock is up 18%. It's up 1.8 times in the opening. Where did that take it? The opening 50 minutes of the session. That's not going to happen forever. So then you've got to kind of understand, okay, how do I want to manage this one? Okay, what I like using with stocks that move like this is either lower the bar. So like on the daily chart, lower the day, lower the day, lower the day technique. Here, when it starts getting really extended up here and it starts pushing its 20-day ADR percentage, the volume coming in is very big. We could just go lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar, like that. Or you could use the 5-minute 6 EMA, close below that, the MACD is then turning, and then here, when it starts closing below, question also is it starting to show intraday relative weakness? If it is, I'd give that even more weight. But when you get these short-term extended stocks, I like lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar, especially if they've just gone climactic in nature, huge relative volume coming through, extended relative to the 20-day ADR percentage, and it's happened in a very quick manner. Okay, so then you can think about managing it, and you don't just have to be a swing trader or a position trader, or you could be everything. Like you can get good at everything. I would advise get good at everything. Don't just get good at one thing, get good at lots of things. So let's then go on to QS. That was from yesterday. Okay, Redcat and Dragon Pro. QS and SLDP, these are from today. It's exactly the same thing. The same thing keeps happening. It's just the tickers tend to change on a daily basis. So what you're trying to do, I think, to play this game at a high level is identify very quickly where the algo is going today. Where are the algos? Where's the intraday relative strength? Where's the group theme confirmation? So if you take a look at QS and SLDP, both of them are EV battery related stocks. Okay, if I just pull up Market Surge, this is SLDP. Solid power manufactures and develops all solid state battery for fast growing battery powered electric vehicle market. And if we go here for QS quantum scope, solid state lithium metal batteries for use in electric vehicles. So the theme here is EV vehicles, EV batteries, sorry. Okay, so if we then take a look here, what do we see? So in the first 5 minutes today for QS and SLDP, they did this. There's the first 5-minute bar for QS. Here's the first 5-minute bar for SLDP. What did the triple Qs do? It's like a bullish doji, isn't it? Okay, it's not a bad bar for the triple Qs. It is in the context of trying to overcome the prior session's high, making new all-time high. So it's not showing a significant amount of commitment and then does start to break out. But even if you're looking at this bar here relative to this bar here for QS, opens near the low, closes near the high, strong bar. Here, SLDP opens near the low, closes near the high. What do you notice about the true relative volume for quantum scope? Is 0.61 times the 20-day look back. Okay, so if I just load that up, you can adjust this if you want. Here down here, I'm just going to change this to 0. My standard settings. I now change this to 2.5, but I haven't updated it on all of the layouts. Okay, but here the RVOL, the look back period, we're looking at the prior 20 sessions. Okay, to get that data. That's what we're comparing it against. I should so get the data. If we take a look at SLDP, these are two of the best ORBs from today. The RVOL is that looks to be at 0.76 times, so it's not a huge RVOL. You don't need huge volume coming through on that 5-minute RB. Yet the stock here is pushed up 15% over its 20-day ADR percentage. QS, the stock here is pushed up. If you include from the low of this bar here, it's up around its 20-day ADR percentage. And again, here you could be thinking, okay, do I want to use, say, close below the 5-minute 6 EMA? Do I want to just go low the day when I start, or lower the bar when I start seeing climactic behavior like this for SLDP? Lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar like that. You can also think about it from a swing trading perspective. Because if you think about these stocks here, the proximity, QS may be a better example of it. The proximity to the 10-day EMA is pretty close, I'd say. Okay, you can actually see the 10-day EMA here on the 5-minute chart. Look at the strength that QS is displaying over last hour. And you may go, well, this is a bit of a choppy mess, isn't it? I mean, look at this. It's making a da. Well, look at this, especially in the last half an hour in comparison to what the market has just done. Triple Qs, this is pretty much as hard can get in terms of rolling out of bed and just going flush like that. What did QS do? Didn't budge. Stayed above the entry price. Didn't budge, did it? Look at SLDP. Didn't really budge either. Look at the daily chart. If you just want to sit on the daily chart, look at QS's daily chart, look at SLDP's daily chart, look at the daily bar for the triple Qs. Look at that relative to that. What's QS currently telling you? Telling you I'm strong or I'm weak. It's currently saying I'm really, really strong. So then this is one I think, to then consider holding it for a swing trade and holding it for a bigger move based on the strength that the stock is displaying. I think you've got to update that quite frequently. How strong is the stock? Is the stock telling me to hold it or not hold it? Because the moves in this market are so fast. Case in point there. Trump, True Social post regarding China and trade, like that. That's how quick it happens. And you've probably seen that for the vast majority of stocks as well. Okay. Go load up Tesla. So Tesla, this is the ORB that I had today. It now may go in Morello off the 21-day EMA. Hopefully it waits until after the after session. But here's the ORB for Tesla. Let me go and load up the bar by bar replay on this one. Let's go there. I have selected the bar. I just want to change this. Yep, I'll exit that a second. Go do it one more time. Nope, I'm going to start new. Let's go from this bar here. Change that from 1 minute to 5 minutes. Okay, so play this forward. So this is what the opening 5-minute candlestick looks like for Tesla today. Okay, so just check it. No matter how good you are, and I'll take you through some data in a minute. Okay, no matter how good you are, you're going to have losing trades, whatever strategy you're trading, especially if you're trading ORBs. Okay, Tesla today, for me, looks really nice in terms of an ORB. Okay, it's right there. It's reclaiming the 10-day EMA. I actually thought it showed some intraday relative strength yesterday, certainly into the latter part of the session. You can see that nice kind of inside bar. And okay, maybe a lot of eyeballs on this. If it starts popping up, showing a bit of strength, reclaiming the 10-day EMA, maybe a load of traders algos ready to jump on it. Okay, so the first 5-minute candlestick looks like this relative to the triple Qs. This is today. Okay, so losing trades. I have losing trades. Opens near the low of the bar, little shake out to Martell, but then look at the strength. Okay, it comes through, nice action, strong close. Looking at that relative to the triple Qs, it's kind of like a doji bar, right? It kind of opens here, goes down, goes up, closes here. It's kind of like a bullish doji type candlestick, as we're saying on the QS and SLDP chart, right? So I'm then taking a trade through the high. Now, one of the reasons why I like the Tesla ORB today here is if I got perfect execution, I didn't got slippage, my initial stop loss is going to be around 1%. Turned out to be 1.2%, but relative to the 20-day ADR percentage of 4, that means my initial stop loss is a quarter relative to the 20-day ADR percentage. And Tesla is showing this much intraday relative strength versus the triple Qs. So one, I have a really tight stop loss relative to the 20-day ADR percentage, which is a quarter. 2, the intraday relative strength. 3, it's Tesla, which really likes to ORB. Now with Tesla, there's not really that group theme confirmation. Tesla is just kind of in a group theme of its own, basically, isn't it? I wouldn't say it's in any group in particular, because of Bismarck, could have Elon as well. It's just kind of its own stock. But Tesla can be a really good ORB stock. So I take the trade. So I get filled through the high there. And I knew as soon as this bar happened, as soon as that bar happened, I got filled. So somewhere in this bar, I had about 0.2% slippage. So I get filled up here around about 441-ish, okay? As soon as that bar formed, I knew I was going to get stopped out of Tesla. Do you know why I knew I was going to get stopped out of Tesla? Well, 1, it's a 5-minute supply shoot on the entry candlestick of the ORB. And 2, and potentially more importantly, look at what the triple Qs just did. In the second 5-minute candlestick, the triple Qs has been able to power out through high of day, whereas Tesla forms this supply shoot. And this is how quick a stock can go from showing you intraday relative strength to intraday relative weakness and going kind of danger sign. I probably should have just exited Tesla then and there and go, this trade ain't going to work. Left forward. Okay, start showing a little bit of strength here, but you can see as soon as any weakness develops, so this is the importance of being able to dial in on intraday relative strength. And sometimes it'll work, you'll see a nice big trend. RCAP, QS, so on and so forth. I'll take you through RCAP as well, okay? But sometimes it didn't. And you can pick up on the warning signs, I think, pretty quickly. So Tesla here just starts rolling out of bed. As soon as the triple Q shows a little bit of pressure, Tesla goes, that's me done. I'm rolling to the downside. Triple Qs tries to make a new high, can't, forms this supply shoot. Tesla, gone. So next couple of bars, Tesla tries to hang on, and then stop there. So Tesla is then through its low of day, so it does it on that penultimate candlestick there. Through the low of day, I get stopped out about a 1.2% loss, and the triple Q is not yet down there, but the weakness was coming through there. So this is how you can build out mental representations and start to understand, okay, if I'm taking an ORB, okay, and I want it to kind of light up green here, it's a nice candlestick, stock that likes to ORB, what do I want to then see it do very quickly? This here, major warning sign. Like when a stock does that and the indexes do that, vast majority of times I'm going to get stopped out. And really, I should then just exit the trick and I'll take you through some data. Let me go through. I'll be quicker on this one. I can see some people have put in the chat a couple of stocks to go through. Yeah, we will go through a couple of stocks again. But people that came in a little bit late, I'm not going to go so much through bar by bar. It's going to be more trade review of the trades that you have taken, specifically ORB. So if there's trades that you've taken and you want me to go through them quickly, give you a little bit of kind of feedback on things you potentially missed, because again, I see a lot of kind of common mistakes, especially around the type of stocks or these stocks that you're targeting. They need to be stocks that like to ORB. UEC and CCJ, again, group theme confirmation from this morning, okay? If you take a look at the difference here, maybe I could go, tell you what, let's whack a bar by bar replay on this. And let's go to here. So this is kind of like the polar opposite of Tesla, okay? Very soon into the trade today for UEC and CCJ, you could see that it was likely going to be a strong session, because even when the indexes started pulling back, they go, I don't care. Do whatever you want, SPY. Do whatever you want, triple Qs. We don't care today, which is a really good sign. You want that kind of, we don't care, we're just going to continue trending up. So if you take a look at the opening 5-minute candlestick for UEC, which is a uranium stock, and CCJ, which is a uranium stock, the 5-minute candlesticks look pretty much identical, don't they? That's because it's an algo-dominated market environment. So the 5-minute ORB is there. The 5-minute ORB is hit. There's a nice shakeout demand tail, nice shakeout demand tail. I actually prefer it when there's not shakeout demand tails, but here, because you're seeing this group theme confirmation, it's not too bad. There's even better if it would be kind of like down here and it just, that would be even better. Relative to the SPY, I would say that they are stronger, especially given the close, because they are closing up here. Essentially, what's that? Maybe in the I don't know, maybe 95th percentile or something like that. One tile, they're really close. Like they're effectively closing on the high of the bar. The SPY is not okay. SPY has this supply sheet. They then start breaking out, and where you can see the relative strength start coming through is in the prior two bars. See what the SPY does, see what UEC does, and see what CCJ does. Now, I'd say UEC is even stronger than CCJ here, because CCJ back to the 5-minute 60-minute, UEC does not get to the 5-minute 60-minute. Okay, big difference here in terms of strength. So they're already telling you when the index starts pulling back like this, they're going, we don't care, we're really strong. This is polar opposite behavior of Tesla. Remember Tesla here, relative to the Qs doing that. Tesla, that's not good. UEC, CCJ, showing strength. Now, the stronger a stock is, I have no preconceived notions when I'm taking an ORB, whether I'm just going to manage it intraday or whether I'm going to manage for a swing trade or a position trade. Genuinely, don't know, don't really care. It's all determined by how strong is the stock. The stronger the stock is, the more I want to hold, especially if it was in close proximity to key daily moving averages. So if you take a look at UEC, in particular here, it's just kissed the 10-day EMA. It's not extended. Okay, it's not like it doesn't really get extended, which is kind of the point, right? But it's not like it's all the way up here, short-term extended, or it's up here and it's just ran up for a week and a half. It's not like that. Okay, it's kind of just consolidated. Actually, there was a nice shakeout yesterday, and today it's starting to go and reclaim the 10-day EMA. So then if we start playing this forward, I'll just zoom it forward. The strength that they were showing, they continue to display that strength. UEC in particular. When the SPY does this and goes on this huge flush here, look at what UEC does. Doesn't care. Cares a little bit, right? But up here. Lower day is down here at like 1370. It's nowhere near the lower day when the SPY has just done that to the 21-day EMA. So this is then a stock where the strength that it is displaying from this ORB initially to get in the trade and the setup itself, it's now saying, hey, I want to go higher. So the stronger a stock is, the more I want to hold it. So I don't have these preconceived notions. When I get in a 5-minute ORB, okay, I might just manage it kind of intraday, like say a red cat here, just manage this one intraday. I don't want to hold it for a swing trade. It's just an intraday trade because of kind of how far it went up and this kind of climactic move here. And your kind of spidey sense will go a little bit as well, right? Whereas UEC and CCJ, well, given this bar here, given the close proximity to here, and it's kind of breaking out of this base, CCJ kind of breaking out of this. See how they're both breaking out? They're kind of day one of a base breakout. Got this nice gap down reverse bar, kind of tightens, the volume dries up, and here, look, off the 21, 10-day shakeout, volume is dried up. These are just breaking out of a kind of multi-week base. So the context here is different. So the strength of the stock, I think, dictates how you then manage the position. I don't think you always want to go, I'm a swing trader, I'm going to hold everything like this. I'm a day trader, I think the action of the stock depends, and you be adaptable to that. Let me take you through a couple more. Hopefully it's useful. So this is Oklo. This is from today as well. So again, it's about looking for those stocks that like to ORB. I'm just going to zoom this in here, okay? This is textbook ORB stuff, okay? This is the 11th June 2025, a couple of months ago, okay? So I had this ORB here as it's breaking up. Now what it does, it goes push, 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 push. In the R vol here, only 0.54 times the 20-day look back for that period, okay? So the relative volume was about half what it's been over the prior 20 days from 9:30 to 9:35 a.m. Eastern time, okay? And what it does here, run, 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 run. This is textbook behavior for an ORB because the trade management is simple. So I think you want to try and trade those stocks that make it easier for you. Yeah, we take a look here. Oklo runs up. These are tier one best of the best type stocks when they do this, okay? Opens it. I'm going to go off the high of the 5-minute bar. First close below the 5-minute 6 EMA, 20%. Let's just say that's 2 times the 20-day average daily range percentage. So it's easy, right? Why is it easy? What does it do? Well, it's textbook. It was here showing a lot of intraday relative strength versus the S&P 500 on that day as well. SMR was also confirming the move. There's a post in the forum, the post-session analysis. If you go look at it from the 16th of June, there's a detailed one for Oklo and SMR on this day, 11th of June, okay? Opens near the low of the bar, closes near the high of the bar. And then it just push, 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 rides the 5-minute 6 EMA, goes up circa 2 times the 20-day ADR percentage, close below the 5-minute 6 EMA, done, trade. Now, Oklo does that, not frequently, but it has a lot of examples of where it does that. Clean ORB, run along the 5-minute 6 EMA, job done. Today, so this is today, this bar here would be a little bit better. There was some group theme confirmation for Oklo as well. But the point that I'm making here is even better if it kind of closed a little bit higher. But there, 5-minute ORB, run along the 5-minute 6 EMA here, starts closing below the 5-minute 6 EMA, but at 10:55, which is that bar there, that is 10:55 for the SPY. The SPY is big flush underneath low day. Oklo, nope. And even if you look now, this is live as we're filming this. SPY continues to flush, 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 yeah? Look at that. Whereas Oklo is only here. Oklo is actually still holding this prior low that it's set at 11 a.m. The low at 11 a.m. for the SPY is here. So it's made another lower low intraday. Oklo hasn't. So then from a trading perspective, if you're then thinking, okay, so I want to manage this one intraday, let's say that you took half off it. Let's now just go through this from a trade management standpoint. Let's say I'm just going to put right entry. So your entry is here on the 5-minute ORB. You have a stop of, let's say, 3%. That's about a third relative to 20-day ADR percentage. Close below the 5-minute 6 EMA, and you go, let's Trump's on that. China did it into the weekend. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm going to take half off that. It's only got half it. And then you can be assessing it in real time and go, well, take a look at Oklo. What's Oklo trying to do? What's the context of Oklo? Yesterday, shakeout demand tail around the 10-day EMA, built this little pivot in here, little cup and handle, and it's trying to break out of this base. So yesterday it was effectively on the 10-day EMA. It's trying to break out of this little cup and handle type pattern. And when Oklo wants to run, Oklo can run and run really hard. And it's currently showing a lot of intraday relative strength. Now, is it going to be able to swim against this algo tide? I don't know. But I think given the Oklo, and you could have a stop down here at lower day, and here, again, can't do it now because I'm on the live coaching session, but now it's closing below its 5-minute 21 EMA. I'd probably be taking off a quarter and maybe keep a stop at lower day for part and see if it can then go on a big run. But the SPY currently looks like it's going to Immorello in about 15 minutes time, in my view, what the SPY is doing that. So it's all about trying to then trade and focus on finding the right stocks. I think I won't do Coinbase as I probably kind of exhausted at that, but hopefully that kind of makes sense on don't just rely on some indicator that paints some candlesticks green. You've got to be focused on the right stocks that like that kind of setup, have a history of being able to ORB. And also there's group theme confirmation. Let me now take a couple of stats. Take some water on board like this. Okay, so this is the last, it's 119 ORBs that I've taken. Okay, and I put this then into ChatGPT and I said, do it with so it's 5-minute ORBs just using the 5-minute 6 EMA as a trailing stop loss, assume a 50% position size, compound the equity curve. So obviously as the account grows, the position size is getting bigger or smaller relative if the account is going up or going down, and obviously fluctuating, and just start it with a capital of 100 grand and chronological by date. Okay, so these are actually trades that I've taken, okay, over the last, this was from when I started doing this for this data, 21st of July. I think it was the 21st of July from this year, okay? So from that, so these are actually trades that I took, okay? My win rate using this 5-minute 6 EMA RB win rate is 57%. So I would say that's pretty high in terms of 5-minute RBs. But I'm very, very selective and very thorough with the types of stocks that I'm trading and the intraday relative strength, the group thing confirmation, yada, yada, yada. Okay, hopefully you can see very thorough and very selective. Right stocks, right time, right management. Okay. Most ORB win rates will be a lot lower. I'm sure you're aware of someone who kind of made the ORB famous, right? Kwalamagi. I think he says his win rate is around about 35%. Maybe if he did some of this stuff, he could improve that. As far as I know, he doesn't kind of obsessively focus on some of the things that I was just taking you through. So if you are not focused on this stuff, group theme confirmation, ideal candlestick, right stock that likes ORB, I think your win rate is going to be significantly less than this. I don't know anyone who can trade RBs better than me, really. So that is, I think that's pretty much near as good as it gets in terms of a win rate. Okay. But let's just say it's 50-50. You're still going to be wrong half the time. Tesla today, wrong. But if I'm wrong, I want my initial stop loss. Well, firstly, if I get stopped on a trade, I want it to be because I think it was an A plus setup. If you're going to stop me out, at least stop me out of an A plus setup. I don't want to get stopped out because I was trading some rubbish stock that didn't like to RB. My initial risk was as wide as the 20-day ADR percentage, and I was buying it 30% extended from the 10-day EMA. I'm not going to have those losing trades. Okay, I'm not going to take those ones. If you're going to stop me out, at least stop me out from an A plus setup. So like Tesla today for me is A plus, and it's really A plus because of how tight the initial risk control was. So here, assuming perfect execution, it's going to be around about 1 to 1.1%, closer to 1.2, since you can factor in some slippage. Okay, so okay, stop me out of a 1.2% stop on a stock you can really size up, and the initial risk is about a quarter versus the 20-day ADR percentage, and it's showing a lot of intraday relative strength. I would take that trade every single time in Tesla. Fine by me. Do not mind doing that. Like the Teslas, the PLTRs, the Robinhood, Rocket Lab as well. They can be some of the really nice ORB stocks, Oklo as well. So these are the types of losing trades. I'm absolutely fine, and I want to get stopped out really quickly. Okay, stop me out. That's absolutely fine because there may be a different ORB or an Immorello or something else is selling up, or maybe it does what Tesla did, which is it then Immorellos and then flushes later on because the index did what the index did. But if you're going to stop me out, at least be a really, really good setup. Okay.